I am extremely pleased to announce that my book, The Theory of Measurement, is now available in audio form at audible.com. In this concise and yet deep study, the basic principles of measurement theory are stated. Topics covered include triangulation and precessification, diachronic versus synchronic measurement, the role of irrational numbers in measurement, metrical conventionalism, coordination of distinct metrical norms and the concomitant generalization of otherwise context-specific metrical concepts, additivity and non-additivity of volume, mass, and other magnitudes in relation to relativity theory, and finally, scalar versus vector magnitudes. Please enjoy the following promotional excerpt from the audiobook itself, professionally narrated by Samuel Unger, and available for purchase at audible.com.
Synchronic versus diachronic measurements. 2 meter rods can be laid side by side. Non-simultaneous events cannot be laid side by side. If it is to be known how two such events compare in respective duration, one must know of some periodic process, some event sequence, each of whose members is of the same type as its successor. For example, the round trips made by a beam of light between two mirrors, rotations of the Earth, or of a cesium atom, or somebody's heartbeat, that occurred during each event. And further, one must know how many installments of that process occurred during each. If m installments of that process occurred during the one event, and n installments occurred during the other, then, if that process is indeed a perfectly regular one, the length of the one relative to the other is n over m. But it cannot be said, it will be objected, that a given periodic process is regular unless there is already a way of determining duration. And there is no way of determining duration except in relation to some periodic process. Therefore, some periodic process must be stipulated to have perfect regularity. It must be perfectly regular by convention. This is the conventionalist view. Conventionalism is false. This will be discussed below. Long story short, if duration is measured in terms of a process that is intuitively known to be erratic, for example, somebody's heartbeat, the resulting measurements aren't consistent with one another. But duration measurements are consistent with one another if duration is measured in terms of a process that is intuitively known to be regular. For example, the series of round trips made by a light beam between two mirrors whose distance from each other is fixed. Given that, relative to a given framework, an event cannot have distinct durations, it follows that conventionalism is false.